guest here today. I'm Nicole Diablo with the 2-Minute Yoga Solution, and I have with us Natalie Cummings, and she's the owner of Hiking Yoga in Dallas, Texas, which we're here to talk about stress reduction tips. And I can only imagine that just going out on a hike with Natalie outdoors and taking some deep breathing would be very good for stress reduction. But she also is the founder of Cardio Yoga Fusion, and I'd like to welcome you here today, Natalie. And could you tell us a little bit about why you started Cardio Yoga Fusion, what that means?
Thank you so much, Nicole, for having me. Yeah, I'd love to give a little history on Cardio Yoga Fusion. I think the name sometimes denotes this really, hard yoga practice, like power yoga, because it has the cardio element involved. But it really is a full fusion practice that I added a little bit more heart to. And that's just by, getting the heart rate up. But for me, the inspiration came from being a very busy mother and working from home, and I just didn't have enough time to get in a yoga practice and to, get cardiovascular work in, and I wasn't making it a priority. And I thought there were a lot of people out there that feel the same way, that are like, maybe just yogis, or maybe they just, are runners. And I thought if I could just take everything and put it into one, period of time that people could spend with me, then it would just be efficient, and you could cover all the bases, and it doesn't have to be, 4 hours a day, or, whatever it is, 3 times a week, an hour at a time, or whatever. So I did a lot of research on what, what's recommended health-wise, and so I started incorporating metabolic conditioning, which means that you can do things in a shorter period of time and get more benefits, just by raising the heart rate and then bringing it down, and raising it up and bringing it down. So, increasing the metabolism, and nothing that's so intense. So anybody could come into Cardio Yoga Fusion practice and feel completely comfortable and have a lot of different variations to choose from. So there's no isolation, and there's no, there's none of that person sitting in the back of the room thinking, oh my goodness, I've never done yoga before, this is scary, I'm not going to fit in. There's a large variety of people that come in and that experience Cardio Yoga Fusion, and really I see it as the gateway, right? It's like this, if somebody has never experienced yoga before, or yoga practice before, or if they don't know anything about metabolic conditioning, they can easily come in and try this practice, and then maybe say, well, want to go a little bit further into the history of yoga, and they could go into a full yoga practice and not feel so disconnected. And that comes from my, upbringing and where I'm from, where there isn't a lot of that influence of Eastern culture, and so yoga, it was an exercise modality to most of the people in just outside of Detroit, Michigan, where I'm from. So I wanted, once I started learning this, and once I started really taking it all in, I always kept in my heart who I was when I started and how I felt when I started, and I wanted to be able to share that with people who are like me. And I think there's a lot of people out there that would definitely benefit from a yoga practice, but can't quite step into a full, traditional yoga practice without feeling like they don't fully understand. So it's kind of like a segue in between.
That's fabulous, Natalie. I mean, that's a lot of the reason why I wrote the 2-Minute Yoga Solution, because so many people would say like, oh, I can't do yoga, or it's too weird, or they'd see those crazy, beautiful positions on the yoga journal covers. They're lovely, and just think that they would have to do that when they go into a class. So that's fabulous to hear. You have a really welcoming class that's going to not seem strange to people, and they're going to feel that they can fit right in and get some benefit. That's excellent.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand. The amount of time that you can spend, it doesn't have to be a lot of time. It's really just about breaking down those barriers. So somebody could say, I could never do yoga in 2 minutes. I couldn't even meditate for 2 minutes. But if you start at 2 minutes, you could really gain a lot over time. It just takes 2 minutes.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's great. Yeah. Fabulous. All right, so Natalie, so also, so you're a business owner, and I know you have some other businesses where you help yoga teachers also, and you're a mom. So what do you do when you need stress relief?
Well, my number one go-to for stress relief is something very simple, and I think it stems back to even when I was a child, a nurturing sense of warmth. So if I am really stressed, I can always take a warm bath or a really hot shower, and it really starts to just calm everything down. And I will light a candle or maybe have a little, 5-minute restorative yoga practice before, just a little bit of a couple of poses, some forward folds to really start to soothe and to release the stress. And then just that change of body temperature for me is what changes the actual exterior, the physical body. And then my mind always ends up just kind of feeling a little bit more relaxed. Excuse my puppy. And it works every time. And sometimes I don't have enough time for a bath, or it's, in the middle of the day and I've got chaos going on. So a cup of hot tea will do the same thing. And I like to think of it as the same thing as a yoga practice, because if you change your the physical body, the mind follows, right? So for me, it's warmth. For me, it's, I know that that's my go-to, and I think for some people, they can relate to that. When I was a child, my mother, whenever, we were fussy or anything like that as children, and even as a mother now, with my children, she would say, just put them in a warm bath and they'll calm down and then they'll go to sleep. And it's like the best rest I've ever had if I take a bath before bed. So I know that that's my go-to, and I know that, for some people, I see the correlation of the physical, going through from pose to pose and finding that relaxation within the physical body and intentionally breathing in and out, and then eventually, there's that response that happens in a very scientific way. And then, the mind just has this way of following suit. So it's like we have those tools, and I'm so glad you're doing these interviews, because we do have tools to come out of that that place that can encompass us sometimes with stress, anxiety, and everyday busy, life. So I appreciate you doing this, because it'll be a nice resource for me. Maybe the hot tea won't be working, and I'll come to watch one of your video interviews.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. And I love that. I'm a person who likes the warm and the cozy too. So that's a good reminder for me to, like I say, if you're real busy, just have that warm cup of tea. It's just that cozy, warm feeling. And then, I know, like my husband is, for example, he really likes the cool. So the cool beverage or a cool shower or whatever people find, seeing what works for him. Sounds like more than a little puppy.
He just turned 1. He's an adorable lab, but he just figured out that this is his house and this is his mama, and nobody's gonna mess with that. Yeah, he's a good boy though. Sorry about that.
No problem. So this is live, as we say, and it's,
exactly.
Google Hangouts. So Natalie, if people would like to get a hold of you, so I know if people are in the Dallas, Texas area, that would be wonderful for them, but you're also online on social media too, right? So if you want to get a hold of you, let me know, and I will later post that as a live link for people.
Yeah, absolutely. The cardioyogafusion.com is my website, and through social media as well. It's the Yoga Fusion Connection is the name of the page, but it's really Cardio Yoga Fusion. So you could search either one and find me. And then I also empower yoga entrepreneurs through the Yoga Business Connection Facebook group. So we have a really nice community. Nicole, you're a part of that community where, we're working together to, really solidify that sense of community and to empower each other and to really work together to find a way to help one another's offerings spread in an organic way. So this is one of those ways, it's just, I'm very, very flattered to be a part of this, so I appreciate it so much.
Okay, great. Thanks, Natalie. You
You're
want to
welcome.
show? I can tell you're petting your dog. So let's see your dog as our final shot here.
Yeah.
See your.
I know, right here. Wait, I'll get him over here. Yeah, come here.
Right, because I can tell he's right there. Might as well. Because pets can be soothing too. They can help us release stress.
You're not kidding. I have a lot of friends that utilize their puppies, and he knows exactly what's going on when it comes down to it.
So it's great.
Let me just pick up the little guy.
There we go. There we go.
He's like, I don't like being on camera, Mama.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Natalie.
Yeah, thank you so much. Take care, Nicole.
All right. Bye-bye.